What's up, you guys? My name is Sarah. Welcome back to my channel. So if you couldn't tell from my background, I moved my room around. She's cute. We love her. And I'm feeling pretty good about it. I think it came out well. Maybe I'll do like a little room tour. Maybe. I don't know. We'll see how I feel. But today I'm actually going to be doing a book review for this book called It's a Date Again. Selena, please stop trying to take all the spotlight. It's a Date Again by Geneva Rose. So this was actually the first book that I finished the most recently, that started my love for books again. I've had like several books that I've actually like finished and that I've completed that were like, you know, bigger books and stuff like that, but they didn't like spark this love for reading like this book has. And I don't know, I'm just really excited about reading and stuff, and so I wanted to give you guys my little review on this book. I'm going to try to not give any spoilers, but I don't know. I'm gonna try not to give any spoilers, but also still give a good review. So we'll see how I end up doing that. Yeah, so let's get into it. Okay, so this book is about a girl named Peyton, and basically when we see her in the first chapter, which is really not giving anything away because it's basically what it says on the back, she is done with dating. She knows exactly who she loves. After some convincing, she decides to go and tell that person that she loves them. And as she's going, she gets into a car accident. A car hits her actually, and she wakes up in the hospital. She has no clue who she is. She has amnesia, and as she's at the hospital, 3 guys come and all say that they're her boyfriend. And so basically it's the story of her having to figure out who was she going to that night to say that she loved them. So that's basically what this book is about. And honestly, that really caught my attention when I read the back of it, because I was like, that sounds like a book that I would like. And so I picked it up and I started reading it, and you guys, I love it. I love this book. And this writer, she's actually a thriller writer, or like I don't want to say horror. I don't think it's a horror. Thriller, yeah. Because she even puts a thing in the front of the book where she says, "For my thriller readers, heads up, there's no murder in this book. I tried adding one in, but apparently it's not typical for the genre. So be prepared to swoon instead, because I'll make your heart race one way or the other." And honestly, this book it keeps you kind of on your, well, I don't know. Okay, for me, this book kept me kind of on my toes, like trying to figure out who it was that she loved. Because honestly, okay, when you're first reading it, like, if you are a big romance person, like you watch romantic movies, you've read romantic books and stuff like that, you kind of already know who she's gonna end up with. Like, you know what Endgame is gonna be. Like, I knew from the very beginning who Endgame was gonna be, but it was interesting to see her get to that point where she knew who Endgame was. So it kind of keeps you on your feet, especially when you're like thinking about what she's going through having amnesia, and she can't remember anybody. She can't remember anything. She can't remember anything about herself. Like, she doesn't know anything at all. So she has 2 friends. She has Robbie and Maya. Maya, right? Robbie and Maya. and they are the main ones helping her, but then she also has Debbie helping her as well. And so it's basically the story, like they're trying to tell her about her life. They're trying to help her to remember things about herself. And then she tells them, Maya is the one who tells her, like, you were on the phone with me that night and you were telling me that you knew who you loved, but you didn't say who it was. And so basically she's trying to put the puzzle pieces together of who out of these three men could it be. I will also say that I knew from the start who was trash. Okay, I guessed it. I knew it. Okay, this nose sniffs out liars. Like, I knew that this one particular guy, like, just everything about the way that she would describe him and the way that he was being described, I was like, yeah, no, red flag, big gaping red flag for this guy. And it's just so cringy. Oh my gosh. Just like some of the, like, okay, so I will say, like, this book is not spicy at all. Like, it has like 0 spice. It has like, it gives you like a hint, like you think you're about to get some spice, but then it doesn't. It's not spicy at all, which was refreshing because I was kind of expecting it to be a little bit more. I will say that, okay, so one of the things that was like a little annoying about the story was that, like, Peyton is like really kind of fixated on looks. She is very fixed on who is the most attractive to her, and also just like she's just very fixated on looks. And that part was a little bit annoying because it was like, girl, like, focus on who they are and how they treat you, not how they look. Like, so, like, okay, let's be honest, like, looks are important, okay, but like there's an extent to it that it's like, okay, now you're like going overboard about how they look. And she just was like trying to pick who she was more attracted to, you know. And I get it, but at the same time it was like frustrating to read the story and her be like, oh, I think it's this person, he's so hot, or I think it's this person because he's whatever. And it's like, how about the way that they treat you? How about this? How about that? Like, think about that stuff, you know? And so that was a little frustrating. That was a little frustrating, I'm not gonna lie. But I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed the book. I enjoyed the suspense of who is she going to pick. And then when you know, there comes a point in the book where you know who, you know before she does, who she actually said I love you to. You know before she does. And you're like sitting there like, oh, girl, come on. You know, like, I know, they know, we all know, the only one who doesn't know is you, you know, like, I don't know, that was so frustrating. It was frustrating, but I enjoyed that. I enjoy it when books like really, really capture my attention to where I just want to keep reading it. I just want to keep reading and knowing like what's gonna happen, what, you know, what are they gonna do, and like, is she gonna figure it out, or is it gonna be one of those sucky stories where like they don't figure it out, you know? Like, I just wanted to know what was gonna happen. And so I really enjoyed reading this book, and I don't know what else to say without giving like spoilers. So if you don't want spoilers to this book, maybe skip all of this, because I do want to give like a few spoilers. So the 3 guys, right? One of them is a really handsome, like, lumberjack type of guy, has long hair, puts it in a bun, contractor person, right? So that's how they describe him. And he's very attractive. His name is Tyler. Then she has Sean, who's very tall, dark, handsome, and he's like very clean cut, and wears like a suit and a tie and everything, and he's very good looking. He's like a businessman. And then there's the third one, who is more of like the shy, like I imagine, like, I don't know, what would I say, like shy hipster kind of guy. Like he has tattoos on his arms. He's very like laid back, kind of like, actually, you know what, not hipster. I was thinking, like, when I was imagining him, I was thinking of more like a skater guy, you know, that like wears a beanie, wears like a flannel with like some kind of old rock t-shirt and like some ripped up skinny jeans. Like, that's what I was imagining him looking like. I don't know why. I'm not sure why that was my thought, but but they do mention like he has tattoos on his arms and stuff like that, and he's a chef, but he is definitely the more like quiet and like shy one of all of them. And yeah, so she is trying to figure out, as she's going along, she's trying to figure out how far they were in the relationship. Like, were they saying I love you? Had they been intimate together? How many dates have they gone on? Stuff like that. So they're like going through her planner. Her and Maya are going through her planner, and they're trying to figure all that stuff out. And then she's like trying to ask the guys, like, oh, so, you know, what was our relationship like, all that stuff. It was very frustrating. It was very frustrating to see, again, how she was making her decisions and what she was basing her decisions on. Because like I said, majority of it was looks and like how the guys looked and how they made her feel, because they would be like how they were physically with her, not in like a super intimate way, but if they were like gonna like hug her from behind, or if they were gonna kiss her, and like the way they held her face and stuff like that. Like, she was kind of basing it on that, and she wasn't noticing like the person that was actually doing so much more for her, that was actually like caring about her and who she was and who she is, and like who really knew her, who really was like really there for her. Like, she wasn't fixated on that. She was fixated on things that didn't matter. And I'm not sure if that's like how she intended to write her. Like, I don't know. I might give it like a while and then go back and reread it and see what I think. But to me, that's kind of how I saw it. And I guess, I don't know. I found that part to be very frustrating. And I think it's maybe supposed to be like, well, she doesn't have any memory, so that's kind of what she has to go based on to figure out who it is that she was trying to say I love you to. But I don't know. That part was a little frustrating. But again, I absolutely would give this book 5 stars. 5 stars. I love this book. This book kept me wanting to read it, and it was very, very interesting. This book, I would say, was more like Hallmark rom-com kind of deal. That's like what I would compare it to. I would give it like a slightly less cheesy version of a Hallmark movie, but like when you're reading it, when you watch a Hallmark movie, you know what Endgame is. when the movie starts. Like, once you see the two main characters, you're like, oh, okay, they're gonna end up together. So let's just watch and see how they're gonna end up together. Because really, you don't know. You kind of have an idea, like, oh, like eventually this is gonna come out, and then they're gonna know. And it's basically the same thing with this, but you have like the extra elements of her but her deciding to date these other three guys and then be kind of distracted from what the main goal is, which is to figure out who she loves. And I thought it was very, very, very interesting. So, the next book that I'm going to just mention that I read is Judy Blume. Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret. So this book was interesting. I'm not sure what the what would you call it? Like, I'm not sure who this is supposed to be targeted. When I went to Barnes and Noble the other day, I did see some Judy Blume books in the young adult section. So I'm thinking maybe it's supposed to be like a young adult book. But the girl, it says it right here. It says ages 8 to 12. Is it right there? I didn't see that part. I didn't see that. Okay. So this is for ages 8 to 12, but I picked it up because I saw that there's like a show or a movie of this book, the Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret. And so I was like, oh, like I kind of had been thinking about watching that, but then I don't know, like I was like, I don't know if I want to. But then when I saw the book, I was like, maybe I'll pick up the book and then I'll watch the movie and see like how much it differs. I don't know how I feel about it. Like I said, it's really young, but it's supposed to be young. But it is kind of funny because it made me think of when I was 12. It made me think of like the things that I was thinking about. Like this girl, she moves from New York to New Jersey, and she's having to make new friends and everything. And this book is very heavily based on religion, more so against it, yet exploring it in some ways. I didn't know that, but basically like her parents have a bad taste in their mouth because they had a bad experience with their families about, the different families had different religions, and so it kind of tore their families apart. And so the parents, Margaret's parents, didn't want her to have to decide who she believed in or what she believed in right now while she's so young, because she's in 6th grade. She's 12 in this book. So it's kind of like, it's just like that, but also in the book, she kind of already has a relationship with God in a way, because God is who she talks to anytime something is going on. So if she, so whatever happens, she'll always start out by saying, "Are you there, God? It's me, Margaret." And then she'll, tell him whatever she's going to tell him. And so throughout the book, that's what she does. And then towards the end, she's getting a little frustrated with how fixated everyone seems to be on religion around her. But then she's also getting frustrated because she's getting older and she wants her period. She wants to be more developed. She wants to feel a little more grown up, and so does her. That's all that like her friend group really talks about. And so that's the part that was kind of relatable, because I remember thinking like, oh, I want my period and I want to be more developed and stuff like that. And it was funny too because there's a character in the book that is more developed, and it's like a girl that they like are kind of hating on because she's more developed. And I remember being like, that's so true. Like, I used to be like that too. I would get so mad. I would be like, like, whatever, I guess. You know, because you're just mad. Like, you just want to be like that. So you hate that somebody else is getting to experience it. I don't know. Maybe everybody else didn't experience that, but I definitely did. And so that's what it made me think about. It definitely just made me think about when I was in 6th grade and stuff like that. I didn't really particularly enjoy the religion aspect of it. I liked that she had her own personal time of talking to God, but I didn't like that they made everybody who was in a religion seem like a bad person, especially the parents, especially her grandparents. Her grandparents are depicted pretty bad, and very pushy about their religion, to the point where it like makes everybody angry and everything. And I don't like that. I don't like that depiction. So I don't know. That was the part that I didn't really like or enjoy very much. But I would say, honestly, I give this book probably like 2 stars. It wasn't anything that I would read again. It is a very, very short book. The chapters are like 1 to 2 pages. They're not anything long or anything like that. I was trying to see how many chapters there are. Well, there's 171 pages. I read this in one night. It's a very, very short book. So, yeah, that's kind of my take on that. But this book, on the other hand, It's a Date Again, is honestly one of my favorite books. I love this book, and I just thought it was so fun. It was just like a really fun story. Like, you know how I've been watching a lot of like book YouTubers and stuff, and they'll have books that like are easy reads that will get them out of a reading slump and stuff like that. I feel like this would be one of those books because it's not anything that is like super complex or anything like that. It's just real simple, and it's kind of funny. Like, it's like a rom-com feel. I will say that there is some cussing in this book. Not a lot, but there is definitely some. And like I said, it's not spicy or anything. You think something's gonna happen, but then it doesn't. There is kind of there's like a lot of talk of like some people's bodies, because she is, like I said, she's very, very focused on the fact that a lot of these men are very good looking. And, you know, I mean, that's real. It's true. Like, we all look at that when we first look at somebody. Well, I won't say we all, but a lot of us do. So, yeah, that's the only thing. But other than that, it was a really good book. So, I hope that actually made sense. I'm going to be filming another book review, and I'm so excited, you guys. I'm going to be doing it in 2 parts. So I'm going to film the first part of it right now, and then I'll film the second part of it later. Or I might just do it in one video, or I might just review one book. I don't know. I haven't decided. Okay, it doesn't matter. But anyways, so I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you want to read these books, let me know. If you do read these books, let me know, and we can talk about them, because I don't have anybody else that's read these books, so I can't talk to anybody about it. But I hope you guys love this video. Join me on my new little book journey, and I will see you guys next time. Bye. Oh, wait. Pause. comment, like, subscribe, and all of that stuff. And now, I'll see you guys next time. Bye.